Hello, guys. This is about visiting cards, how they represent who we are in a limited way, how some people take their designation and post too seriously, and how we can be our visiting card. Now, once upon a time, while working with Wipro, I was visiting the director of a well known financial regulatory organization. After taking a prior appointment, I entered his big cabin with a huge table in Nariman Point facing the sea. Now, note for BKC generation, Nariman Point was the business hub before BKC and Mindspace came into being. A lot of files and documents were lying on his table. Then there were some visiting card holders gifted by various organizations kept in a row. I introduced myself and handed over my visiting card to him. He took the card hesitatingly and just glanced it over and kept it near the card holder and said, "Oh, one more sunflower. Tell me what you are meeting me for." And the meeting went on. Just to mention here, sunflower used to be logo of Wipro in those days. Now, why I still remember this instance? Because first time in my life, somebody had so blatantly and nonchalantly boxed me into an unknown face in a large group when I was standing right in front of him. Of course, we went on discussing this in detail at a later stage, but it was an eye-opener for me. Similarly, we can see faceless visiting cards roaming around us every day, around us. They represent some organization or some job profile, and that's it. There's nothing more to their persona than being there to finish the task assigned to them by their organization. It is like delivering the message without understanding the content, context, or audience. There are profiles where you just have to do as being told by your bosses. But barring these exceptional roles, we can always add our essence to whatever we do while using these visiting cards as a standby. The basic idea behind a visiting card is to make your information and contact details easily accessible when you are not around. Then we can always design themes, fonts, and whatnot to make it more representative of what we do and what we expect the recipient to understand about us. The objective is to register recall in the minds of recipients about us. Once we leave the place or the meeting place after sharing the visiting card, the person would be able to remember us for what we can do for him or her and the problem we can solve for them. Unfortunately, with competition playing the same game of visiting cards, it becomes difficult to differentiate ourselves from the crowd. This is where visiting cards start losing the game. We as a person can add value, flavor, and presence to the interaction with the person so that they register who we are, what we can do, and where he or she can use our services and expertise. The interaction needs to be engaging, amiable, and mutually beneficial. Then people tend to remember us. Once people remember us, finding our coordinates is not a big task in nowadays. Even Siri knows about it all. I'm not saying visiting cards are unnecessary. I'm saying visiting cards are not enough. On the other hand, some people take their visiting cards too seriously. They carry them everywhere they go. It is like some telecom company ad. Wherever you go, visiting card follows or even precedes us. They take their position, designation, and the power that comes with the visiting card too personally and seriously. They want people to respect them and follow them because of the visiting card that they carry and not because of their competence, skills, and character. The results are generally very painful. I have seen many people who used to strut around with their fancy visiting cards when they were representing somebody or something well established. The power behind the visiting card was the result of the effort and brand building of somebody else. They made hay while the sun was shining. When they were left without the visiting cards, that is when they left the pedestal they were standing on, or when they left their organization, suddenly their real height, mental, intellectual, and physical, got exposed. They were nothing but the mean, meek, and miserable reality of their glorious but phony visiting card. Instead, what we can do is let us build our own visiting cards and carry them everywhere we go. No business card can be better than our better self in terms of competence, attitude, intent, experience, and knowledge. The biggest advantage of this business card is that nobody in the world can take it away from you at any cost. It is ingrained forever in your character, personality, and behavior. As you're aware, I'm a collaborator and ghostwriter. A lot of people are open to the idea of writing a book and presenting their book as their visiting card to their prospects or intended recipients. I'm not trying to sell my services here, but you are most welcome. Imagine a consultant meeting his prospect and handing over his book on the topic at hand as a visiting card. Now you can imagine the effect this might have on the person who is receiving the book. It is just an example. Some people carry their money as their visiting card. A lot of them actually carry money as their visiting card, and it works in many, if not all cases. People have different agendas, contexts, situations, and audiences. We should be able to judge or gauge the authenticity of the visiting card being shown to us, whether it is a actual visiting card, whether it is a phony visiting card, or it is a money as a visiting card. Even today, after almost 20 odd years in the industry, I can still get this feeling sometimes that I am being thrown away into the card holder lying on the table. But now, as I understand, it is often intentional, calibrated, or with a specific purpose. The incident I described at the start of this video was more of a casual reaction without any malicious intent from the client. Then onwards, I worked on my visiting card in a far better way. I am myself a visiting card now. I carry myself everywhere as a visiting card. It is a part of who I am and what I want to become. The biggest difference now is that I have a choice to choose this card or the paper card that everybody flaunts around to share with people. Don't be just another visiting card. People throw them away without even blinking their eyelids. Let us be our own visiting cards and see the difference ourselves. Thank you very much.